Hi everybody, this is Tim Packman from the Garage Shop Insider. Now you've seen the pictures, you've seen the social media posts, we've been talking about Arkansas. We finally took out the Dodge Daytona, the Ford Talladega, and we had some fun with them, and boy did we go fast. Here's, we're going to show you some of the great stuff that went on while we were out there.
I look at it as being boring to go live your life and not do things that, that are different and that are exciting, and rewarding, and trying to make the world a better place and give people happiness and joy. It's just, I don't want to just be a number. I'm going to tackle things.
It's almost a dream to me is where we're at and how it's evolved from, oh, let's build a Daytona and go to Bonneville. It's gone so much farther than that and so much deeper with the people.
You did it right when you honored this.
I've always liked to surround myself with people that are smarter than I am, which isn't that hard, but...
Go ahead.
But, I always like to find people that are very specialized and very well-rounded and that can bring good thoughts and positivity to the table. And each and every one of the people here, without their skills, none of this would be possible. It's not a one-man show.
When you pull on this road and you pull down here in this park, I didn't expect this to be a shop where they make a cup car go 236 mile an hour, in Arkansas. I didn't know. It doesn't look like that. You pull in, and I knew, like Billy Ryan. I'm like, oh, there's Ryan Enterprises, and it's like GPS is like, it's right here. I'm like, where? All I seen was like storage containers and a camper.
The first few times I walked in, I was like, what the heck are they doing here?
I'd say we like to do the impossible and be successful at it. We shouldn't lock that down until we do the deck lid and all that. As long as we got this here right now, that'll help. This will come to it.
So the Garage Shop to me is a place where innovation, creativity, and passion all come together by a bunch of guys who care deeply about what they're doing. They're not just showing up for a paycheck.
Aaron has this giant sandbox that he lets us come play in. And he shares with us. Right under this line.
I'd butt the package tray up right to that convenience. I think that'd be a good place to go.
I'm on my dream tour, and I'm enjoying every day of my life.
So this chassis is as symmetrical as we can make it, obviously with a driver's seat.
Yeah.
But the front clip, all the bracing, everything is mirrored as much as possible.
It's beautiful. But it looks fast, doesn't it?
I think it's going to give that Dodge a run for the money.
No, I don't know about that. That when you really want special things, that does come out of small teams of the right people and that work together and know each other, trust each other. They can pull off really big things. It's when you get a big group of people and they're all disjointed, that things miss and they don't, all the details are not right. And so small group, small team of the right people can accomplish great things like this car.
You happy?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Incredible.
We ain't gonna let you down.
Well, I know that.
Every week we built a new car, and when I worked in Rick Mast in 1994, and we sat on the pole with Indy, and it was kind of that same feeling, that we knew we had a fast race car, and we all just put a little extra effort in and just made everything just right, one piece at a time. And that's what I like to see, is these young guys have that same feeling of craftsmanship and that same feeling of success. And I really like that, and that just really just is the icing on the cake for me.
If you really think about it, back in the day when they were, building stock cars and so forth, they weren't trying to make them be the most beautiful thing in the world because, they were going to go bang them up. Guys, craftsmanship is just off the charts.
That's these guys all over here.
Just really good, really good.
There's that piece that's always unknown. And when you do it and it works, and you know you've built something, that's really the cool thing.
I live beside Bobby's sister, Goldie. I promised that lady 25 years ago when she was dying that we'd go back to Bonneville and get those records back for Bobby.
Yes, super.
If you could go through the doors, it's like going back in time.
That's for you,
Unbelievable.
the whole family.
Unbelievable.
What they're building here is memories. The memories of what they're doing, the memories of years gone by, the memories of the drivers, the memories of the guys that crewed on that. That's what they're making here at the garage shop. Just awesome, incredible memories.
It's for you guys.
That means a lot.
I'm 53 years old. Not that I don't think Kyle Busch is a great talent. I'm not going to look up to Kyle Busch when I remember watching guys like Harry Gant and Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Allison and Donnie. I remember watching those guys race, and they were just hard chargers.
Most everybody that was in the sport then wasn't really in it to make money. We were in it because we loved racing. And yeah, we didn't know what quit meant. I mean, for me, I chose to do that as a living. So it was my job, just like a factory man that gets up every morning and goes and punches that clock. I'd work sometimes at my shop all night long and not even get to go home and go to bed. And I mean, there was no such thing as quit.
You know, no power steering, a half a roll cage, and a seat without a headrest. And every Sunday they climbed into those cars. And I think that's gotten lost over the last 25 years. I think that's gotten really lost. And it's my vision is through all this is to pay homage to those guys that came before us and preserve those stories and those cars for the future. Because I don't think in 25 years from now, nobody's going to be talking how great a COT car was. I don't see that happening. We thought what would be cool is back in the day, you guys did everything you could with what you had.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be more fun to take everything we have today and put everything you had over top of it.
How about that? Wow. I was mostly impressed with the aerodynamic detail that they had gone to. You know, they had the availability of the wind tunnel, and that had to come into the picture some. And they put the cars in the wind tunnel and they messed with the wing a little bit and really see an effect. And you know, I thought that was pretty neat for that thing to be as small as it was in comparison to the entire size of the car, and for it to have as good an effect on it that it had. That particular body right there, the wing, and the wing was really a good help to the thing. You know, it's really small looking when you stop and think of it, but it was really effective. But this car really, really drove good, with good aerodynamics, did everything right to begin with.
It did, and we found that out in the wind tunnel.
Yeah.
We had this, before we painted this car, we took it to the tunnel over the A2 tunnel, and we found out how sensitive that wing was.
Yeah.
Very sensitive. And we found out quite a few other things about it, and that car, our land speed car we have now is a 2018 Fusion.
Yeah.
It was a 259 in drag. This is a 192.
Wow.
That's getting after it right there. The cars are great and they're cool, but they're still just cars. The people is what put the love into them, and the stories and the history. And when Donnie and Dave and Bobby came over and they had, you know, all these cars were here and they were looking at them, and to see that twinkle in their eye of, yeah, I used to race this. That was just icing on the cake. It really, really was.
Holy mackerel.
Right, huh? How many more people can get around
I
race
saw
cars?
something like this before.
Want to hear it run?
I'm still telling you, it's got the wrong number on it.
Wrong number on it?
Wrong number?
Those things peel off.
I think everybody involved in this project has grown as a person. When these young guys see these old guys come in and see that twinkle in their eye from something that they built, they're recreating history for these men and women. I think that really hits home with them. It's a different than building a cup car and going to Daytona and knocking the wall down, bring it home, do it again.
I can't have conversations with a lot of people that are my age because they don't get it. And that's another reason I think, well, this place is such a good place to be at and work at, just being myself. And we all enjoy it. And that's all important to all of us.
And thank you. And it's a treat to even look at.
We're never gonna forget, I promise you that.
Yeah.
That's what. You know, throughout this project, you know, we've had milestones, you know, from the very first day we said, oh, we're gonna build a Daytona, to now we're putting them in the trailers a year later.
All good. Okay. All good.
Last week we were loading up the cars, and everyone's worked their guts out to get to this point. And it's like, okay, we're finally gonna put these in a trailer, and they're gonna leave the shop, and we're gonna go. So the mood was kind of like the calm before the storm, or kind of like quiet, you know, the anticipation type thing. And it was kind of like almost surreal how everyone, you know, was just, you know, not everyone was like Yahoo and jump around, like, okay, now it's time to go to work. Like all the work they did now to this point.
You know, you have level of apprehension when the cars are, you know, being built, when they're fired, when you're setting them up. And now with the gates on the trailers going up, that's it. There's no more chances.
Going for a ride, Gunny. See you in Arkansas.
So it's definitely a moment I'm waiting for, seeing that car loaded up, because it gets to the point working on cars where you just want it done.
Ready? Action. Hold them in.
The culmination of what we're doing, it'll start in Arkansas and it'll end in Bonneville. But I'm more proud of all the people that are involved and all our resources. And I mean, when you tell somebody you're going to build a Dodge Daytona and go to Bonneville, it sounds kind of ridiculous, you know, in a way. But all these guys picked up on the vision so quick, and they all jumped on board. I'm really proud of each and every one of them. They all put their heart and soul into these cars. And just when you think you're at the top of the mountain and the Daytona's done, well, we're going to build a Talladega in 4 months. And those guys jumped in, and they worked really hard and built a car that's actually, in my opinion, better than the Daytona and that Talladega. The workmanship, we learned a lot from the Daytona, you know, that transferred over to the Talladega. We built our own chassis for the Talladega. They just all, I'm looking forward to getting all the guys to the racetrack and seeing how they feel about it when they see their workmanship and everything we've done over the last year since we started this project. To see those guys, you know, how they feel about those cars going down the racetrack and knowing it wouldn't be possible without each and every one of them.
Your expectations can be all over the place when you have things that you've never actually done before. So every car that was here this trip was something that had never been raced. So you have high hopes, but you also don't know, because you know what you have to do to dial them in and figure out what it's going to do or not going to do.
You got what you got. All the apprehension in the world, all the thought in the world, nothing, it's over. It is absolutely, positively over, and it's time to, you know, go. And so really at that point, you know, I worry so much about everything else before that. At that point, I'm worried out. You got either checkers or wreckers here, you know. Either way, it's going to be cool.
You're going to make history either way.
The nice thing about the people that are working on the car is that every one of them have the experience to work on, they've worked on fast race cars, so we know what it takes to make a car go fast. Aaron's been straight lining for some time now, so he's got a wonderful understanding of what it takes to make them go fast in a straight line. And even when we were professionally racing, in NASCAR, we were going straight line testing for super speedway stuff just to get more speed out of the car. It was all about cut and drag out of the car and anything you could do, and we learned a lot in how much it made the car travel, the attitudes of the car.
So how do you feel now? All the work you put into this and everything? Now it's about to launch down there.
It's cool. It's just, I'm honest, to be honest, I am nervous, you know.
That's good.
And it's a feeling I've not felt in quite a while, you know, in different circumstances, but it's hard, you know. It kept me awake a little bit at night, just the anxiety of it, you know. But
remind you of your NASCAR career?
It absolutely did.
We're going to go fast. How fast is going to be the question.
So your emotions when you're on the line now?
Down the track.
That's your.
Yeah, if it breaks, it breaks. If it wrecks, it wrecks. I'm not going to worry about what ifs or could be's. I mean, my job is to get it down the racetrack.
Right now, I just talked to Brian Cram and I said, just bring back memories of like before a race. And I've been through a lot of Daytona 500s, was fortunate to win 2 of them. That's kind of the emotion I'm feeling right now, because you see the car being built, we've had the meetings and everything we talked about, but now's the time we're going to put it on there, and I'm excited and nervous for all these guys, and I'm waiting to see what that first timing slip's going to be, because this is pretty cool, and like I said, all the work's coming together, and now we're going to see how it's going to come out. I'm excited and nervous at the same time for this. It's pretty cool. First run there, what did you think? You had your observations if you took off the line there.
Yeah, well, he made a good start off the line. And you expect that it's going to spin some, you know, when you get into it. But it looked to me, though, it wasn't really. He was giving him a hard time the whole way down. So I think they're going to have to do a little bit of work on that.
What do you think would cause that in your engineering mind that you have?
Maybe the springs.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm going to go talk to him.
Didn't really go fast enough to figure anything out. I mean, it was like went 175, 170, 174, 175, like he said. It was okay. It wasn't as good as a Cup car handling wise, and definitely not as good as the 39 handling wise. And I was just like, we didn't even go fast enough. You know, 175 ain't fast enough to tell anything. My perception's a little different than, you know, at 225.
you could have turned it sideways if you wanted to.
Oh yeah. That was fun ride.
I mean, we saw the door number at one point.
Yeah, it was loose. It needs to carry the front end more. That's what happened when the front end came. It pitched nose down too soon, and then it wasn't very balanced.
So, what advice did you give to Vance? I mean, here's this guy who's done some runs, but nothing like these two cars before. What advice did you give him when you got in there?
Just to be calm. I mean, that's really just be calm. Don't try to go faster than the talent you have, and just get it down the racetrack. The speed will come.
The key thing is that if the car's not right, you can still figure out how to drive it. It just won't go that fast.
You know, Vance is a rookie driver, and he's our partner on all this. And, you know, we're trying to get him up to speed for Bonneville. And the one mental note I made was, this car handles like he needs to drive it to see what a pile of crap drives like.
I went from second to fourth. having struggling getting power to the ground here, I'll just, you know, see if that'll help me stabilize the thing. And it did a little.
He put a good effort in. He did what he was supposed to do. And he ran down through the half, I think, at 162, which is respectable for as bad as that car is in a rookie driver in his first time in a car like that. I haven't driven that car through the mile yet, but I mean, I feel like that car is as capable as a Daytona. We went 209, and then I think our mile speed was 211 or 212 on that second pass. You know, again, I was, you know, the car, I got a little bit more aggressive with it, and, you know, on my third gear shift, the car was so good, I had to push, I forgot to push the gas the whole way to the floor.
The Daytona just was like a rock. From the get-go, you could feel the difference. It was just much more planned. It wasn't dancing around. You know, as it gathered speed, it was just still just nice and solid. So it was just more about just trying to see how much acceleration it'll take without pushing it too hard.
A car like that Dodge Daytona, it's just like on a rail. It's just when you think you're giving it your all, it asks for more. We unloaded a car off a trailer, went 226 miles an hour. And it drove, I don't know how to explain it. It just drove, and it's just a true testament to all the people that are involved with this. And you know, I just got to pull my head out of my ass and put the gas to it a little bit more. I'm not used to something that spectacular.